Where do they get the rest of the money from? Right? At the end of the day, they got to squeeze that lemon. They got to squeeze that lemon, get every little bit that they can out of that lemon, right?
Oh
And you're the
boy.
lemon.
Uh,
And you're the lemon.
oh boy.
Thank you very much. I'll be here Tuesday live.
Welcome to the TOWTalk podcast. My name is Denise. I'm here with my buddy Neil, and we're going to just give you some updates regarding the ACA subsidies. If you've been following our show, we've had a number of episodes regarding how our healthcare is being impacted with the extended subsidies expiring. There was supposed to be a vote last week. There was a big promise that there would be that the Republicans would bring it to a vote. Yeah, I know. Big promise. They Democrats caved on the freaking shutdown, and guess what? There was no vote. Johnson would not bring it to a vote. Didn't happen. And now today is December 21st, and Congress is on vacation again. No surprise. Seems to be their thing lately. Do these people work at all? I'm like, what's their purpose? No, they don't work anymore. Like we have like an inept, incompetent Congress now. They just kind of show up to just yell at each other and then go home. But no, if they show up at all, I mean, we're not doing any legislation unless it's the big bill. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. But here's the thing that amongst all the conversations that we've had with ACA, the one thing that happens now that we haven't brought up is what's called the drop-off rate. So we've heard this, I'm sure, whether you've watched Midas Touch, whoever, and hear us on TOWTalk, we've talked about how these premiums are increasing. In my personal case, my premium has gone up 50%. And some people are seeing 100% or more of their premiums. So what's starting to happen is that basically younger folks are foregoing coverage. They can't afford it, so they drop off. And so healthy people who drop out of making premiums, those premiums collectively go in and pay for treatment, generally for some of us who are older. If that money comes out, but you have the same people who need health care, such as people in my age and Neil's age, what happens is the premiums go up to cover for that, for those that continue their coverage. And so what happens is sort of snowballs, because then payments go up that much more. And you might have more people drop off simply because they can't afford it. This is what we're looking at over the next several years. So if we don't come up with universal health care, we're gonna see it. Yeah, stop laughing. It could happen. A girl can dream. Seriously, this is going to be a systemic problem, and it could be really devastating, especially when without the premiums paying out health coverage to medical facilities. We see medical facilities contracting in size and or closing altogether. What do we do, Neil? Tell me.
Well, I'm, I'm going to give another side to this.
Okay.
Very, very. Let's look at the economics, right? Like the economics was back in the day, right? Like, so let's take everybody back, okay? Before we had the ACA, before Obamacare, before whatever the hell you wanted to call it, okay? If you didn't have group healthcare coverage, you didn't have coverage. That was it, because all that was offered was group rate healthcare, right? You might be able to get your own, but it was very, very difficult because basically what you had to do is you had to go and negotiate yourself with the insurance company. It was very, very difficult, and it really wasn't pragmatic. So there were a lot of people who didn't have healthcare, okay? And healthcare was a lot more expensive for the rest of us. I understand people don't remember that because everybody goes, well, back then I paid this and now I'm paying this. But you have to look at inflation and various other things, right? Time value of money, right? To understand that you were actually paying a high price. In order to bring down rates for everybody, Affordable Care Act worked its way to spread that risk around to everybody,
Uh-huh.
okay, which allowed premiums to come down and obviously the subsidies to the insurance companies. Really comes down to having a middleman like public like for-profit insurance companies is a really bad idea.
Uh-huh.
Okay? It was always a bad idea. It was a bad idea when Nixon put it into place. It's been a bad idea ever since. It's always going to be a bad idea. Okay? And who do you blame? Who should you blame? Obama, because Obama got rid of the public option right from the start.
Oh, that's
Okay?
interesting.
Right? So because it was even said, I forgot who the congressman said. There was a Republican congressman who said Democrats sold out to the insurance companies, okay? So that way, because that's who was supporting their campaigns, okay?
Mm.
And it's true. We've talked about this donor class, this billionaire class that really controls, right,
Oh, yeah.
our politicians because of the incentive structure that we as a society put on getting elected. Okay? So let's cut through this. What we're seeing now, right, is the cost all at once of what the market actually would have been had we not had the ACA to begin with.
I You think it would
That's
be
it.
this high? I don't know.
Yes. Yes, because what would have happened is if you didn't have those subsidy years, you wouldn't have noticed this
Mm,
because it would have been incremental over those, what, 10 years or 8 years that we had Obamacare, right? So if you look at the ACA for those 8 years, you really didn't have those increases.
actually, I think it's 15.
Or 15, whatever years it was. I don't remember. Time, you know, ever since COVID, I got no sense of time whatsoever,
Yeah, nobody
right?
does.
So I'm just gonna say, however long it was, if you looked at what premiums you would be paying today, right, for those services. The idea being that the more people utilize services over time brings down the cost of those services. Okay. And in order to achieve an economies of scale, if you want less people using the system and more emergent care, which is what you end up getting, right? That means that it's going to cost everybody else who is on healthcare, who does have health services, more money.
Yep.
Okay. And the jump that we're seeing is just a cost correction for the years that the ACA was in place. This is as if the ACA was never in place to begin with.
Mm,
This kills everything.
yeah.
Okay. So all you're seeing now is what you would have been paying had the ACA not been in place. And I think that's sort of what you know what Barack Obama, President Obama wanted us to have happen, right? Like I mean, I think his whole idea behind it was, listen, I can't get you what you want, but I'm going to tease you just enough that if the Republicans take it away, you'll come back to us, right?
Well,
And if they leave it alone, right, you'll want more,
okay, but from what I
right? Like
understand, wasn't the final that's the word I'm looking for. The final ACA, the way it was finally written, was actually done by the Republicans. Right? Wasn't that like Rand Paul or whatever his name was? Uh,
no, it was Romney care.
Romney, thank you. Okay.
It was
Okay.
Romney care, right? Like I mean, at the end of the day, all it was so everybody remembers, you know Romney's binders, right? Like Romney had binders of women, he had binders of plans, he had binders of everything, right? So he had a healthcare plan which he put in place in Massachusetts, and that's what he was really pitching to the American people. It was written by the insurance companies as a way to increase their profits. And let's be honest, over the years that the Affordable Care Act was in place, the insurance companies made more money. Like their profits soared.
Sure, they were
So it wasn't
getting our
right,
tax dollars.
right. It wasn't like they were crying poverty here. Okay. The taking away of these subsidies wasn't for the benefit of the insurance companies, which are now scrambling. Okay. This now it was an entire benefit for tax breaks for billionaires. That was
Right.
it.
Yeah.
That was it. Big beautiful bill or big shitty bill, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? This is all to give the tax breaks to billionaires. They were like, fuck the American people. We want to take the money that you are giving for these tax subsidies, okay? Because we were paying for those tax subsidies, right? And we want to give those tax dollars to the billionaires. Screw you, individualism.
Capitalist
Getting rid of
socialism.
socialism, right?
Capitalist
Like we're
socialism.
getting rid of socialism, but we are going to redistribute your wealth
To
to the richest 1% of our population.
Yeah,
Like
that's exactly
that's what
what
they
it
said.
is.
Right, that's what they said. In a nutshell, that's exactly what they said.
Yeah. That's exactly what we're seeing happen here. Oh, socialism bad. Socialism bad. Well, you're fine with your socialism is now going to the richest class. We're subsidizing them now with your tax dollars.
Well, what you have is you have hoarding.
Oh yeah.
So if billionaires are hoarding all the money, right? I mean, we now have a trillionaire, right? Like, so they're hoarding all this money. Okay. Well, where do they get more money from? Like there's only like at the end of the day, there's a finite amount of money in the system. As much as we all love to say it's a limitless system, there really is a finite amount of money in this system. So if you have a finite amount of money in the system, okay, and the billionaires are hoarding, where do they get the rest of the money from? Right? At the end of the day, they got to squeeze that lemon. They got to squeeze that lemon, get every little bit that they can out of that lemon, right?
Oh
And you're the
boy.
lemon.
Uh,
And you're the lemon.
oh boy.
Thank you very much. I'll be here Tuesday live.
This is where we are, folks. It sucks. Um, is there any talk of them bringing this back up in the future, or I think we're done here. I think we're done.
Listen, even if the House, so here's the thing, right? Everybody keeps putting it on the House, even if the House somehow passes an extension of the subsidies, it has to go to the Senate. The Senate does not give a shit.
No.
It's dead on arrival, does not give a shit about you or your subsidies. Okay? So it's dead on arrival. If by some miracle of a chance, okay, all right, some miracle of a chance, okay, that John Thune, right, decides to say, I'm going to allow the Senate to vote on it, okay, and somehow by some miracle, right, Schumer doesn't trip over himself, okay, right, and the Senate passes it, okay. It's dead on arrival because Trump will never sign it into law.
This is
So,
yeah.
so it at this point, it's a
We're
foregone
cooked.
conclusion.
We're
Yeah, it's just done. It's just posturing and everybody pretending like we have this local congressman, Mike Lawler. who he voted for the big beautiful bill. He's been supporting Trump, but then every time he gets to score cheap points to say, "Oh, well, we need to bring back these ACA credits, blah blah blah," right? It's bullshit.
It's
He
completely
knows
insincere.
it's insincere. Like people, like these people all know it's a game. They all know,
They're taking the
right?
carrot
That
and moving
that
that
it's
carrot
never
further
going to
away.
pass. It's the carrot, okay? Make you believe that they're the good guy, okay? So that you can send them back so that they can screw you some more.
Wow. The
The
fuck it.
carrot.
Yeah. Yep. These-
And you're you know what? And you're the donkey. And donkey, you're the ass. Yeah. There's a reason. You're the ass.
Wow. We got to kick these people to the curb. That's all we got to do. I don't know. Well, it's going to be the next year is going to be challenging, folks. I don't know where to go from here. Obviously, votes are supposed to matter. We need to make them matter. I keep saying we got to primary uh, people out. I mean, off camera, Neil and I were talking about this as well, about how it seems that both parties are on the exact same side, at least as far as the institutional representatives go and Senate goes. And we need to get them out and get some more people that aren't backed by this freaking corporate machine that's got a hold on us right now. It's not going to be easy, but it can be done. So, folks, join us this Tuesday for our live stream. It's our holiday live stream. We're going to have a party. Neil's bringing coquito. He better bring the
Can I
recipe.
just
Oh, go ahead. Go
can I
ahead.
can I just want to make one statement before we go. Um Thanks to this administration's policies, there'll be many families this Christmas that won't be together.
Yeah.
And I really don't care what your political affiliation is. That is shameful. In America, the holidays are supposed to be meant to spend with family. And the fact that we as Americans have allowed this to happen is just really reprehensible in every single way.
Yeah.
And so I would like everybody to join me in praying for all those families, praying that they get reunited, that they will get to spend holidays together in the future, that we all remember one thing this holiday season that we cherish the most. It's our freedom, and it's a freedom to celebrate whatever holiday we want with our family.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining us this evening. And, you know, um, and please pray with us.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. So, join us this Tuesday for our live stream. It's our holiday live stream, and we're going to be thinking about these folks and also thinking about you. We'd like you to join us, share your moments, um, and we'll. And in the meantime, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Uh, hold your family close to you because you never know what can happen. All right, and we will see you Tuesday night. Take care, guys.
Peace.